Today we are going to practice two things. We are going to practice first and second conditionals, or the difference between if he went to New York, he would have to save a lot of money, and if he goes to New York, he will have to save a lot of money. What is the difference? I'm not going to tell you. We will learn by practicing it. That way you won't forget. So be sure and watch until the end. We will also practice using the common expression, get a grip, which means take control of your emotions. Welcome to the Professor English podcast, where we don't just talk about English, we practice English. My name is Ryan, and I am your host, and today we are going to be practicing our English while exploring how to use if will and if would, or first and second conditionals. Have you ever struggled understanding the expressions that so many English speakers use? Today's exercise will help you improve your understanding because we are also going to practice using the common expression to get a grip. We will work on accuracy by practicing if will, if would, while also practicing our listening and speaking skills. I know how challenging it can be to communicate effectively in a new language, but by participating in this exercise, you'll be one step closer to confidently expressing yourself in English. So let's get started. I will provide the prompts, and we will have a conversation together using regular spoken English. If you prefer some visual help, just go on over to my YouTube channel, Professor English ESL class. Now, let's dive in and start practicing English. Here is a situation. Mike had to give a presentation, but presentations make him feel very nervous. It doesn't matter if he's nervous, he must give the presentation. He will have to control these negative emotions. He will have to act normal and give the presentation. He will have to get a grip. He will have to get a grip. He'll have to. He'll have to. He'll have to get a. He will have to get a. He'll have to get a. He'll have to get a. He'll have to get a grip. Let's make a conditional with this idea. We are pretty sure he will be nervous. So let's start with this conditional in simple present, because we're pretty sure. We're not 100% sure, but we are pretty sure this is the way it's going to happen. If he is nervous. If he is nervous. If he's nervous. If he's nervous. If he's nervous, he will have to. He'll have to. He'll have to get a grip. We're using will to talk about the result. So we're using simple present because we're pretty sure this is going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. He will feel nervous. So let's say if he's nervous, that means we're confident. We're pretty sure. We're 90% sure this is going to be his feeling. And to talk about the result, we're going to use will. He will have to. He'll have to get a grip. If he's nervous, he'll have to get a grip. He will have to. He'll have to. He'll have to get a grip. If he's nervous, he'll have to get a grip. Now let's change the idea a little bit. Let's talk about this situation like we don't believe he will be nervous. We don't think that this is going to happen. It's possible, but probably not. Maybe there's a 10% chance he will be nervous. And because we don't really think it's going to happen, we'll use the past. If he were nervous. It's possible, but probably not going to happen. If he were nervous. Now, to talk about the result, we'll have to use the word for imagination, which is the word would. So we really have to imagine this because we don't think it's going to happen. If he were nervous, he would have to get a grip. I don't think he's going to be nervous. It's probably not going to happen, but if it does, if he were nervous, he would have to. He would have to get a. He'd have to get a grip and give the presentation. if he were nervous, he'd have to get a grip and give the presentation anyway. All right, fantastic job. Let's try another situation. Mary does not like John. She hates him, but there is a possibility that she will have to work with him on a project. She will have to ignore her emotions, control her emotions, and do it. She will have to get a grip and do it. She'll have to get a grip and do it. She'll have to get a grip and do it. We're not 100% sure that they will have to work together. We're only 90% sure. So there's the small possibility they don't have to work together. Because we're 90% sure, if we want to make an if sentence, we'll use the simple present. If they have to work together, so we're 90% sure. There's a 10% chance maybe they won't, but there's a big chance they will. If they have to work together. Now let's talk about the result using will. She will have to. She'll have to. She will have to get a. She'll have to get a. She'll have to get a grip and do it. She'll have to get a grip and do it. Okay, now what if we really don't think that they will have to work together? Maybe there's just a very small chance they will work together. It's possible, but probably not going to happen. Then we will change the simple present to the simple past. If they had to. If they had to work together. If they had to work together. And when we talk about the result, we'll use would, because would is the word of imagination. We really have to imagine this hard because it's probably not going to happen. She'd have to. She would have to. She'd have to get a. She'd have to get a. She'd have to get a grip. She'd have to get a grip and do it. If they had to work together, she'd have to get a grip and do it. If they had to work together, she'd have to get a grip and do it. Wow, you're doing a super duper job. Let's keep going with another example. But first, a quick reminder, if you're finding these exercises helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, Professor English ESL Class. By subscribing, you'll never miss another lesson, and you'll continue to improve your English skills with ease. And if you are watching this video on YouTube, be sure to hit that like button. It may seem like a small action, but it means a lot to me and helps me create more fluency and listening comprehension exercises just like this one. So let's keep practicing English and taking our language skills to the next level. Here is another situation. Lucy is Mark's girlfriend, but sometimes she spends a lot of time with her other friends. This makes Mark upset, jealous, and annoyed. If Mark wants to continue having a good relationship with Lucy, he will have to control his emotions. Let's use get a grip for this situation. He will have to get a grip. He'll have to get a. He'll have to get a. He'll have to get a grip. He'll have to get a grip. If he wants a good relationship with her, he'll have to get a grip. By using the present tense, we're imagining that he really wants to have a good relationship with her. It is very probable that he wants a good relationship with her. He will have to get a grip. This is a necessary step, getting a grip. And we think this is really what he wants. If he wants a good relationship, if he wants a good relationship with her, if he wants a good relationship with her, he will have to get a grip. He'll have to get a grip. He'll have to get a grip. If he wants a good relationship with her, he'll have to get a grip. Now let's change the first part of the sentence using the simple past. If he wanted to have a good relationship with her, Because we're using it in the past, this want plus if, it sounds like he doesn't care if he has a good relationship. Maybe he doesn't. It doesn't matter to him, and it probably won't happen. Let's talk about the result using would. He would have to. He'd have to. He'd have to get a grip. Using the word would takes us into the imaginary world. We don't think this will be the result in reality. It probably is not going to happen this way. If he wanted, we don't think he does want it. If he wanted to have a good relationship with her, he'd have to get a grip. He probably will not get a grip. If he wanted to have a good relationship with her, he'd have to get a grip. All right, congratulations! You made fantastic progress today, and you learned some great English phrases and vocabulary. I'm so impressed with how far you've come in such a short time. Remember that practice makes perfect, so be sure and repeat this exercise several times to really internalize these ideas and words, and to improve your listening and speaking skills. It's been really fun practicing English with you today, and I hope to see you again soon. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the like button. See you in the next video with more interesting words and phrases.